Speech, the siege of logic. Who is the true destroyer? In a calm, resolute tone. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today not to beg for sympathy, but to engage in a confrontation of logic. In my files lies a document buried for 16 years, the 25 reasons I once submitted to the regulatory authorities. Back then, I sought to use reason to shatter the administrative ban that was strangling hundreds of investors. But what was the result? The system chose to cover its ears. Getting to the core, exposing the paradox of the system. Why? Because these 25 reasons serve as a mirror, reflecting the truth the regulators least want to face. I told them, too big to fail, too small to save. When Wall Street giants triggered a global financial tsunami with their greed, the system rushed to inject funds and rescue them, glorifying it as maintaining stability. Yet when I, a Chinese trader with proven profitability and 15 years of market validation, tried to trade my way through the tsunami to mitigate client losses, the system chose to freeze me instantly with a ban. Was this to protect investors? No, this was a cowardly act of administrative risk avoidance. They feared my success because it would expose their belated recognition and incompetence in dealing with real giants of fraud like Madoff. Emotional escalation, the lie of protection. What infuriates me most is the so-called protection touted by the system. Imagine a car stuck in the mud. Instead of pushing it forward, you lock the engine, remove the key, and then announce to the passengers, "Look, I'm protecting you from being dragged into the abyss." The reality is this. From the moment the ban was imposed, investor losses ceased to be the result of market volatility and became the product of institutional intervention. They killed any possibility of rescue with their own hands, only to pin the blame on the one who tried to steer the wheel. Deconstructing prejudice, when transparency becomes a crime. They called my 1% theory bait and labeled my public demonstrations as fraud. I challenge these bureaucrats. Would a real fraudster choose to conduct live trading on the first day of the Chinese New Year in 2009 under the watchful eyes of the public? Would a Ponzi schemer publish their trading logic in a book distributed worldwide and invite top risk management experts from the world's leading banks to debate on the same stage? In the logic of the system, if you appear too transparent or too efficient, you must be guilty. This preconceived prejudice renders all facts meaningless. They don't need to hear your reasons, they only need to complete the cold, mechanical, stop trading procedure. Conclusion: demanding justice from history. Writer Alan Gould documented that suffocating hearing. He witnessed dozens of investors pleading in unison, begging for Tang Wei-jian's return. But the system, with a tone of sympathy, swiftly signed the devastating ban. Today, I transform these 25 reasons into my voice. This is no longer an appeal to regulators, but an institutional audit report submitted to history. We must show the world, in that siege of power, Tang Wei-jian offered a way out, while the system chose a dead end. Thank you.